regarding an impeachment motion of Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu. Ken Majungu has been monitoring the Senate special sitting.
Ken, the majority leader earlier, Kipchumba Murkomen, that is, failed to move a motion that would eventually lead to putting the question before the plenary. What impact does this decision have to this impeachment trial?
Well, Mark, this can only mean very few things. It majorly means that the question cannot be put on the plenary. And remember, this is still an ongoing process within the Senate. So if that question is not put by Kipchumba Murkomen, it means that they cannot put the question to ask whether Ferdinand Waititu will be impeached or not. And it means that motion cannot be adopted or it cannot be rejected. But there is a reason behind Kipchumba Murkomen not doing this. And one of the major reasons, and perhaps the only reason that I might underscore tonight, is the fact that there's a question over the quorum at the Kiambu County Assembly over the number of members of County Assembly that were present. Now, Kiambu County has 60 wards, which means 60 elected members of the County Assembly and 32 nominated. For you to pass that motion that impeach him at the County Assembly, you need 2/3, which is about 61.3, which is essentially 62 members of the County Assembly. So that is a contention. So Kipchumba Murkomen, the majority leader, said that because there's that question, then it's impossible to know if they should proceed with this impeachment or not, Mark.
And Governor Waititu's final submissions were punctuated by some emotional statements. What exactly was the issue there?
Right, Smriti, what Governor Waititu was trying to do is to prey on the emotions of the members of parliament. He was trying to guilt trip them because of some of the things that he said, reverting back to his profession when he was mayor of Nairobi, when he was member of parliament, and even when he's now governor of Kiambu County, by telling them that he has an impeccable record and telling them that they could likely also suffer the same fate. He was trying to make a little bit, to get a little bit of sympathy from the members of the County Assembly. So he quoted several things. He mentioned his character. He also mentioned justice a lot in his statement. He mentioned what happened prior to his impeachment. And of course, he mentioned about the evidence that was not presented, even though he did not present that evidence himself, Smriti.
We have been changing parties. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. So you cannot judge a politician from what was happening last week or yesterday. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So honestly speaking, I beseech you, honorable senators, that don't judge me from what happened or what is prevailing now. You might be very surprised with what will happen tomorrow and the day after.
Did the County Assembly meet the constitutional threshold when they impeached the governor? If, Mr. Speaker, they never met that threshold, then, Mr. Speaker, by virtue of lacking the relevant jurisdiction as a House, Mr. Speaker, there would be no ability for us to investigate the veracity of the issues, Mr. Speaker, therein, whether there was a gross violation of the Constitution, whether there was a corruption. Number two, Mr. Speaker,
opportunity to be heard, Mr. Speaker, means that we accord you an opportunity to present your evidence before this House, Mr. Speaker. And the rules gives Mr. Honorable Waititu 3 days under Rule 6. But what have we seen, Mr. Speaker? We have sat here, accorded Waititu 4 hours. There was no evidence given on oath by Mr. Waititu. There was not even a name of any one witness that was put forth before the Senate.
That was earlier in the day, and the proceedings are still ongoing. At Senate seems to be a long night for them. Depending on how it goes, Ken, what's the next course of action for the Senate and for Waititu?
The next course of action is basically if the Senate adopts that motion from the County Assembly, then it means Governor Waititu stands impeached, and there's no other process unless he tries to go to court to challenge the process of the Senate. But remember, this was brought to the Senate under Article 181 of the Constitution that spells out the reasons why a governor can be impeached. The other option, Mark, perhaps, is that the Senate fails to adopt this motion as presented in the Senate. Remember, it's been a lengthy process. At one time, they even refused to go through the meeting of the Speaker constituting about 11 people to investigate this. So they went for the plenary. So if they fail to adopt it, then it means Waititu still remains the governor of Kiambu County, and this has to be communicated in writing from the Speaker of the Senate to the Speaker of the respective county assembly. And here we're talking about the Speaker of the Kiambu County. So there can only be two options: they adopt or reject it with consequences, whichever decision they take.